Welcome to Model Horse Tack School. My name is Carrie, and today we're going to start tackling the pack saddle. Now, I've already shown how to do a nylon halter in another video with the lead rope, so I'm not going over that in this video. We are going to work on specifically the saddle part. Okay? And I'm going to show you how simple the pattern is. Here's the pattern. You got the actual saddle. I make this out of a 7/8 tooling leather because it simulates wood that way. And then this should say breeching. That's an editing mistake, but this is breeching and breeching lining. So you want the lining to be out of something thin. They can be, they can both be out of Skiver. You can use, I'm going to do a 2-3. Now, if you would prefer just use like a leather lace, you could. This is a little bit thicker than a leather lace. This is what goes behind the, right behind the tail, right? So usually it's much thicker than just a regular lace. So you could do that if you wanted to. It doesn't have to be thicker, but it's just the way I've seen them. I prefer it because it's less chafing on the horse. So basically you need an actual, you need the breeching. It shouldn't say lining, and this should say breeching lining, and that would then, to pad the back of the breeching for the animal. And then this is the breast strap. I would use like a 2-3 here, and then use whatever lining you want to use for lining, whether it's suede or Skiver. Say that you use suede for the breeching lining. Okay, so in the magic of video, kaboom. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put aside my breeching and my breast collar, and we're just going to deal with the saddle. Alright, now what we're going to do is glue these together. That's step one. Okay, and I will get a new tacky glue very soon. I don't really want to throw away perfectly good glue. You will find that this pattern is mostly going to be strap work. The saddle is the closest thing to three-dimensional work that you're going to get. And anybody who knows me knows I really don't like strap work. I don't like strap work. I think it's boring. Probably because that's how I started. I did so much strap work because I couldn't afford to get the leather I needed to do a good three-dimensional. Pull that together. I really do want to get rid of that extra glue. There we go. Squeeze it out and clean it up. And then do the same to the other side. That's way too much glue. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work for me. This I really prefer just to have a tiny hole in the lid, but this glue has gotten so old because it's just been sitting that it won't go through the tiny hole, and so I need something a little bit more wet. And just go ahead and put those aside to dry so they don't move around when we go to assemble. So just leave those aside to dry. We need to start the rigging here, so I need, sorry, get my arm in the way. I'm going to need a couple of jump rings. Now these are going to be 6s. Actually, I need 4 of them. That's 4. Yeah, I love these cases. At Walmart years ago, saw them and said, yep. They're cheaper ones that I didn't like the plastic they were made out of, but those were good. I just try to make sure these are actually closed. Sometimes they're slightly open and that's annoying. Alright. Now you can make them smaller. I'm doing the 6s. I think they're easier to see on video. My 5s are way smaller. I think they were mislabeled. Alright, so let's find, yeah, that's where the opening is. And I'm going to put that in here. Make sure I see, there it is. And then I'm going to squeeze. Then I'm going to move it back a little bit, and I'm going to squeeze. There. I just made a D-ring. And let's find it. There it is. It's always better to make sure they're closed all the way before you squeeze, or they don't. It doesn't come out as well. So just kind of make sure they're closed, and then squeeze. Push back a little and squeeze again. Oh. I just missed it. See that? So that's not a perfect one, but the opening is right over here instead of in the middle. So I tell you, it's really easy to miss it. It's so, well, if you're young, you got good eyes, you could probably see it better than me. Oh, that one's good. And then squeeze. There you go. Last one. And you keep them as O's. There's nothing wrong with them being just regular jump rings. Just me. And if you already have some pre-made, I actually do somewhere for my really nice Western saddles. I have some. Like I'm going to do a pleasure saddle or a parade saddle. I have some D's that are actually flat D's, like you'd really see, but this will work. Alright, now we're going to get those out of my way. We're going to take some leather lace. This is left over from a project that I had, so I've already thinned it. So if I talk about skiving in all my other videos, skiving is just a process of thinning out leather, and in this case it was the leather lace. And this is a 3/16 3/32. This is a 3/32. Okay, and normally, like, this is the spool it came from. Normally it's just a little bit thicker. I don't know if you could see that. It's not that much, but sometimes little details like thinning make a difference. So I'm going to La la. And we need it to hang over the edge. So I'll do that plus some fold over, right? And that's the length I'm looking for. Oh, I use my wire clippers to cut the leather. Right. So we can double check it before we glue. I think that's about right. Okay, try to skip that. See how that's tucked in? I don't like seeing that, so rather than re-gluing it, I'm just gonna kind of turn that off. There we go. Alright, make one more. And one for over here, so over, and then extra for the fold over. And I mean, you could have make as much fold over as you want. I usually go for about a 1/4 inch. It's not that big a deal if you go more than that. I'm always looking for trying to reduce bulk because it looks more realistic if it's not as thick. I got to get that third dimension, and that's the thickness. Got to get that right. And so that's why I will often, you know, thin something down, is so that it's that third dimension is the right, it's the right thickness, the right width, the right depth, I guess. Okay. And now we're going to glue these right across. And I wouldn't glue these parts down that much. We really want to just glue the center here. Right down the center. It's just too much. Right down the center there. So that it's hanging over. Same for the other side. Did that come undone? Well, that sucks. Guess it happens sometimes, huh? There you go. We are going to see how it narrows right there. If you do it, if you cut it right, let's see if I got any of these. This is really clear. There's a clear one. See how right there it starts to taper. That's where you're going to glue that to that. Okay? That's not that hard. There we go. So, did I overdo the glue? Because I do when I do this method. I much prefer not using an applicator, but I just... And we're going to glue it on so that it's on the... Let me get this on before it... dries. Specifically want to get right there. Do that. And it should be the same on both sides. So again, we're looking for, and that's why cutting it out is kind of important. The way you cut it out is important. You want to make sure, you know, it's like when you do a blouse or something and you got your dots and your pleats and your dashes and lines and everything, and then the notches. That's kind of the way I do it, is that this is your notch, so you want it in front of right there. Okay, and now we're gonna do this side. Oh, I got glue on one of my fingers and it's getting in the way. That makes me unhappy. So the pattern sticks. Okay. Come on, be a good little girl. The trick here though is you want to make sure it's even too on both sides, so okay, that needs to dry completely before we move on to the rigging. So, moving on. I have 4 jump rings here. And I have, well, work on getting that balanced. There we go. And what we need to do next is rigging. So, this is fun. We're going to glue that. And then I'm going to put some glue right here. See where that's at? And we are going to, wrong side down, you want it hanging over like that. See how it's hanging over? Right there where that glue is, right in that ridge there. Now, we're gonna wrap around across there. I'm gonna get it tight, but you don't want to accidentally pull that out of place. Alright, so we got it tight. I got my finger holding it in place. And now we're gonna put some glue here. yeah, that's, I still need to put a ring on the other side. So, I don't want that to completely dry yet because I need to slip another ring in here. And that means I have to lift this up. It's going to be a little tricky. It's tricky because you want it to be able to be right over that edge just like the other one was. Oh my gosh, look at all that extra glue. Alright. And I think we managed to do it. There you go. Hope you can see how that works. So, one wrap. We're going to do it again. Get to do that all over again. Maybe we can do it just a little less sloppy this time. Yeah, that was a lot of extra glue. I normally wouldn't leave that much, but again, I'm using a applicator and it's not my favorite. As soon as I get another one, well, I don't know. I can't throw this away. It's just, it's still good glue. In fact, if anything, it's tackier, so it dries faster. Oops. 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1000. All right. We know that there's so many different ways to do things in the real world that you kind of just pick. See how I did that? I haven't glued yet. That was a better way to do it. Clip it, measure it, then glue it. Oh. And I got a funny hair on my applicator. Another reason why I don't like them. I have dogs. Dogs shed. They have this fluffy shed that they do, and it just gets everywhere. Okay, I'm going to pull that tight. I'll put that in place. Alright. Technically that's your saddle. So from here it's just detail work, right? So a pin head is either you can take a pin like this, push it through, and then that's your pin head. That's the head. And then you cut it off on the other side. And that, or you can cut the pin head off using a pair of cutters like this. You're going to throw away the, don't throw those away. Those are going to be great for when we do the rigging, the actual girth. So there's your pin head, and then you would, get a little glue, boom, 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 right? And then take that pin head and place it like that, right? So there's your pin head. And that looks like a nail, right? Lovely. Or, if you can find them, there's places that do like sequins. like people do complete patterns out of these. And I'm going to get rid of that one because it doesn't lie as flat as one of these. And so they're a little bit bigger than a pinhead, but they're round and they're bowls, right? So the glue holds them on better. And we'll see. Where am I going to put my pinheads? So let's see. I think I would like one here and one here, like it's been screwed on there, so it's not just floating. Another one there, another one there. Yeah, that's a little too much glue, but try not to be too picky. Okay, so let's see if we can. That one. The lightest touch of glue will make it stick to the needle. And then let's see. A little bit of glue there. Probably too much. So right now I would call this a photo show quality piece of tack because this glue would show up live. I went and cleaned it all off, and I need just that little bit of glue so it'll stick. Getting older, my eyes are not all that great. So just put them right there. It's a simple detail, but it just goes a long way. So maybe we need one here and here. Probably won't be seen if you're going to put panniers or whatever on there. So this might not be a good idea. I just do. I cleaned it off and I shouldn't have. All right. I'm going to stop cleaning off my... Picked up a couple, didn't I? So let's just put those in place. One of the problems as you get older, your eyesight just kind of goes. So sometimes I feel like I'm just using my imagination here. Get some. Gotta find my. I have glasses. At 400x for details like this, where I can actually see just how much glue I've got. Oops, I went in upside down. It's alright, it will. Now you could make this out of wood. This part, the leather part, it could be made out of a balsa wood or a basswood. If there's something you're interested in seeing, leave something in the comments. But there's your saddle. Now, we do have to tie these two rings together. And that would be the next thing. So, oh, that looks good. It's just more of that lace, leather lace that I had. I'm just gonna tie the rings, hold the rings together. there. And then I don't really need that much. If you notice, I don't really measure. I really don't measure. I kind of guesstimate. Over guesstimated that one. That's gonna be too much. So I have to trim. I don't like it when I have to trim. Because that is wasted right there. That's trash. I can't use it for anything else. It's just... trying to think of... never mind. And then watch me cut this one too short. That'd be fun. It's just it, if you cut it too short, that's it. You have to throw the whole piece away. So it's really better too long than too short. There we go. Hold.